I mean,
And that happened with me. She went on vacation, went on a cruise. Right after I got out of the house, she was on a cruise. I was sick. I was like, wow. So yeah, they have parties. They're encouraged by people on the outside looking in who are on that person's side, but nobody ever puts themselves on the man side of the stick at all. It's girl, you do you, girl, and that's fine. That's fine. I can't hate on that. But nobody ever thinks about what the man goes through. What if the man can't afford to go on vacation? He got to sit in his discomfort. He got to sleep in his car. I've heard stories of men sleeping in storage bins.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, sleeping.
Yeah,
Going to Planet Fitness to wash up
right.
at work. There was a TikTok post that went viral. Like, you ever been cheated on and had to do a 8-hour shift at work? A
Mm.
heartbroken and did it. I did that for weeks at work, heartbroken, trying to get through a shift at work. So yeah, those are the things that the sisters don't get the privilege of seeing what's on the other side of the curtain when it comes to the brother or the man, and especially if you lost a good sister like I did,
Mm.
a wonderful woman. I mean, that's why when you see my post it was beautiful because this wasn't this your average. I don't attract the average type of woman. Like this was a phenomenal woman.
Mm.
Don't have no complaints. Didn't have really too many complaints about her. You know, or if I did, I never exposed it to the world. I kept that, you know, between us. So right. So when men lose the good ones, now if you're dealing with a sister that was a disciplinary problem or a woman she's out here and he's ready, he's been ready to go. He ain't gonna fight for it. He ain't gonna fight for his children. He ain't gonna. I wasn't in that situation with a woman that I loved. I was in a different situation. I was in a situation where, you know, a lot of my check marks are being met in the sense of, this how she carried herself, things that I asked Allah to send me, in the sister. Now, she wasn't all perfect at all. I'm not saying that, but it was just I wasn't displeased to the point where I'm willing to go and slander her and be messy and do all those things. That wasn't my situation at all. But
Right,
brothers who are in the opposite, it can get messy. But like I
right,
said, it never really unpack what really happens.
right,
How a man deal with the dismount or divorce.
right. And that's what I really want to look at. You're saying how this dismount takes place for a man. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I mean, because when people get divorced, right? Obviously, something has gone wrong within the relationship.
Absolutely.
That some people at some point they say, well, there's no turning back. I got to a point I can't go backwards. I can't hit the reset button.